Good morning, everybody. Some of you, it's just later in the day. If you stayed for the entire 9 hours. 9 hours. For the love of God. That's cruel and unusual punishment. Good morning, everybody. Yep. Risers, welcome. It was, exactly. Is there not an adult in the room? A day and free day. We'll talk about that in a second. No, I understand, Mary. I had a funeral yesterday, and I was exhausted. I knew it was going to go late, so I couldn't do it. Sharon got up and spoke. Chris Smith got up and smoked them. Yeah, exactly. Glad you are here, risers. I do not have any clips from the show, from the county commissioner meeting, because there's 9 hours. It takes a while to clip through that stuff for little 30-second clips, so bear with me. It'll take a few days. City meeting was 5 hours. Wearing you out. All right. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. My name is Nick Stewart. Welcome. Telephone number to call is 850-771-0049. If you were there last night, call. I want to get your perception on things, how things went. And we'll get to all that in a minute. Your forecast today, sun and clouds mixed, a stray shower, thunderstorm possible, high near 89. Tonight, few clouds, low near 74. And for your Thursday, partly cloudy with afternoon showers and thunderstorms and a high near 90. Chance of rain tomorrow, 40%. Wasn't yesterday nice without any rain? It was glorious. It is 73 in Milton, 79 Gulf Breeze, 74 Navarre, and 74 in Pensacola. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here, and glad you survived the evening. I've got a list done of what's wrong with them. I've got a list. They're evil. Good morning, Howard. How are you, brother? All right. So, yeah, this, I want to share this with you.
Way. Goodbye.
Goodbye to Dan Schebler. Now, was this announced at the meeting, or was this because it came through some other channel? I'm not sure how that came up. Yeah. So they're power hungry is what Rodney says. So, good times. So was this announced during the meeting? Was it something I slept through? Was it part of my coma era? But I did see it posted on Facebook. The News Journal posted it. And then it was shared by others. Who is really running Santa Rosa County? Oops. Well, not you. Not you, as it should be. But Schebler's gone. Now, that would be hysterical to hire Janice Gilley. That'd be awesome. And then they'd hire Schebler. Yes, Geraldine came through. Right. Of all places, P&J. Now, he probably gave it to him. He's the one who probably alerted him to it. But here's my thing is, does this make me happy? No. I mean, I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad the moron is gone. The lying piece of trash. I'm glad he's gone. Now, the thing that makes me upset is that he was not fired. He should have been fired. This does not let the board off easy. I mean, they don't get off scot-free on this. They should have fired him. But they didn't. I'm glad he's gone. Bye-bye. Bye, Felicia. I'm glad he's gone. But they should have done the exact right thing and fired him back when all this came up. But they were weak. The board is weak. And there's no other way to put it. So Schebler's gone. He was with the county since 2017, much too long. Submitted his letter of resignation to the Board of County Commissioners Chairman Dave Peach on Tuesday afternoon. Schebler confirmed it to the News Journal Tuesday night. So yeah. Did he go to the South Santa Rosa News? Nope. He went to the P&J. Go figure. Per his contract, he'll continue to serve as county administrator for the next 90 days. The Board of County Commissioners will discuss next steps, including Schebler's replacement, at a future meeting. State Attorney, Anyway, so you get the issue. You get the problem. He's going to be sticking around for a little while. But when you get up to speak now, just look at him and go, bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. What a ding-dong. Good riddance. Good riddance. They're chickens. Feckless. They didn't. What is this? They didn't want to look like the bad guys. They already are the bad guys. The county views them as the bad guys. They're the mafia. Oh my gosh. They should have fired him. You are correct, Howard. I don't care. How can it make them look any worse than they do? This is the worst board, I think, in history. I didn't stay for the entire meeting. I didn't know Dan was gone, but I certainly am glad he's gone. Yeah, they didn't bring it up. They should have. They'll say we need 2 more people to replace Dan, just like they're doing because of Roy's gone. Well, you don't need 2 people to forget to file a grant, right? One person can do that, obviously. That's not a 2-person job. The Milton City Council, it went several hours long as last night as well. They voted in support of the Guardian program with the resolution. The vote was 7-1, with only Robert Leake, Ward 3 council member, voting nay. The program was established in 2018 through the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School Public Safety Act. Now, there is a statement that was released by the school district 3 hours before the county commissioners were to vote on a letter of support for implementing the Guardian program. Even though the sheriff's office provided their part of the statement weeks ago, Santa Rosa County Sheriff Bob Johnson is on record expressing his support to add extra protections afforded by implementing the Guardian program, as long as it implements and doesn't replace existing school resource officer programs. Santa Rosa County School District Superintendent Staff Office expressed satisfaction with not implementing additional school safety measures via the state's Guardian program, despite a July 2nd letter strongly recommending it. So they don't care about your children. They don't want to implement additional school safety programs. Superintendent Karen Barber, during the last school board meeting, said she would bring back this recommendation to the school board. Now, here's what I want. We just talked about this the other day. That Karen Barber said that she would talk to other school districts, the 14 other school districts that have it. And then they would talk about it, and then they would decide upon it. Now, I was thinking 6 months, they would kick it down the road. How did she do all that quickly? How could she do all that quickly? Yes, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you guys doing that. But how could she make that decision? She could not even talk to those school districts that quickly. You got me? There's no way she could have talked to those school districts, there's 14 school districts or whatever it was, about the Guardian program and make her talk about with the board and make the decision that quickly. She already had her mind made up. And the sheriff's a weasel. From the sheriff's office, the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office currently has one sworn deputy sheriff in every school district school in Santa Rosa County. Santa Rosa County schools are safe. The Sheriff's Office will continue to provide the same high level of service to the children and parents of Santa Rosa County. Weasel, weasel, weasel. 43 counties, including Escambia and Okaloosa County, have the Guardian program already. There you go. But she was going to talk to 14, I think is what it was. It doesn't make a difference. She didn't do it. She didn't do it. And your children are not safe because they're in gun-free zones. Safe until they're not. You are exactly right, Howard. You are not wrong. Oh, yeah, she's got an agenda. Oh, yeah. She's really a Democrat that ran as a Republican. Yeah. But they are. How can we have so many officials that are anti-you? Do you get me? How can we have that many that hate you like this? We have a very liberal school board. So we are so safe. How many instances do we have 2 years ago when everything was normal? I don't know if I understand that statement. There are signs saying gun-free zone. There was at Marjorie Showman. You got me? There was there. There's gun-free zone signs at every school. Are there shootings at schools? And I'm not saying every teacher's packing. I'm saying you have extra protection on the school. I guarantee you take down the gun-free zone sign and put on every entrance of the school a big sign. This campus is armed for the protection of our students. That's all you have to say. This campus is armed for the protection of our students. And that's it. And have one other person that's armed. Are they teaching CRT in Santa Rosa County schools? Well, the curriculum that they're using isn't officially CRT, but it teaches the premises. Bugsy says we had a guy try to pick up his kid who had a restraining order against him and tried to run over people for one. What does that have to do with anything? I don't. That has nothing to do with guns. Was there a gun involved, Bugsy? Apples and oranges. Dottie. Happy Myrtle Beach Day. All right. But you get it. These guys, does it solve every issue? No. Nothing solves every issue. Nothing solves every issue. But doing nothing doesn't help the issue either. Mercy, people. All right. Teachers in Florida can qualify for another bonus. Governor Ron DeSantis announced Tuesday that teachers who complete a civics literacy program will get a $3,000 bonus. It's all part of the new Civic Literacy Excellence Initiative. DeSantis earmarked $106 million to create award-qualified teachers with Florida Civics Seal of Excellence. Of that funding, $65 million will go toward the $3,000 bonuses. $16.5 million will go toward training, professional development, and classroom support for teachers and principals who want to boost civics education. And $17.5 million to help bolster Florida civics curriculum to expedite the implementation of Florida's best standards in K through 12 schools. Now, I don't have a problem with it as long as if there is CRT that is taught, the teachers are fired. No severance. All right. So if there's any kind of CRT, if you teach civics, any kind of civics thing, if you're going to get this $3,000 bonus, if it's offered to you and you don't take it, or it's offered to you and you do take it, but you teach CRT, you're out and you get no severance. Joey, it does not solve Dan's lying issues. It solves our lying issues with Dan gone. Did he have his car in the school? James Calkins is for the Guardian program. But listen, you've got to have, you don't want to do it and not have somebody on campus with a weapon. Right? And you don't want to advertise who it is. You don't. But you do want to let people know there is somebody on campus. There's an officer and a guardian, and we are here. What else happened at the meeting? Oh, my gosh. Chris Smith roasted them. Yeah. Sharon let him have it. Scolded him. Good. She gave him a good one. It was long and it was painful. 9 hours. 9 hours. And they pushed you to the very end. I'm still going through that. I'm still looking through those things and trying to cut that up because that's going to take a while. Chris Smith is becoming a local hero. He needs to run for a county commissioner or whatever. Anything on the noise ordinance? Yes. They talked about it, and they were. I was getting into that when I finally found the entrance of the start of that thing, and I didn't get through it before the show started this morning because it went very, very late. Flooding issues. The main points. Yes, they talk about that all the time, and there's never any resolution on it. Now, there was some zoning. Maybe Sam could call us about the zoning if Sam is awake. Because the zoning board, which is volunteer, voted unanimously. Yes, Heather, I said 9 hours. 9 hours. The zoning board voted unanimously to I can't remember what the resolution was. Anyway, the board unanimously rejected it. Why? All y'all, but no action. Hey, Christine. I mean, all talk and no action. Yes. And then they say, well, and then Bob Cole said that, well, you never called me on this. I've never got one phone call from you. It's like, come on. These people are at every meetings. Maybe not the morning ones. People work. But they show up at the 4:30 ones. It's just, they hate you. The Board of County Commissioners hates you. A change in tourism development tax requirements has left some short-term rental owners confused about how much they need to pay Escambia County. And it's left the clerk's office with a heavier workload. So what has happened is, because the county's tourism development tax increased from 4% to 5% in April, meaning that property owners who want to rent their homes on VRBO and Airbnb must send out 5 cents of every dollar they make in rental income to the county, in addition to any state taxes that are owed. Now, what happens is it takes Airbnb and these groups a month to catch up with the taxes that are charged. And so there's this span of time that they need to figure out what they owe. It's a lag between the county's implementation of the tax and Airbnb software. It's left hundreds of Airbnb owners delinquent on their TDT taxes. They collect the county tax automatically when someone rents property in Escambia County, but they collected the old 4% rate and don't pay the county directly on behalf of the property owner. Instead, they send a sum to the property owner for them to pay for the county themselves. But if they didn't collect it, that comes out of their pocket. Tourism. 850-771-0049. Bob Cole is too busy idolizing his political award he received for being a crook through leadership. You're not wrong. With that, I'm biting my tongue. But he hates you. It's true. This is kind of interesting. Let's see if I can find this real quick. I had it and I took it down, but I'm going to put it back up because I want you to see this because it's fairly interesting. Okay, this happened the other day. Pretty odd. Traffic was snarled after this. Yep, look at that. That's a cow and a dog running down the interstate. And they're going the wrong way. But yeah, so cow and a dog running down the interstate. They were apprehended. This happened in Tuscaloosa County. You got to have moments like that, right? 850-771-0049. Let me get to the coronavirus nonsense. U.S. regulators on Monday added a new warning to Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine about links to a rare and potentially dangerous neurological reaction, but said it's not entirely clear that the shot caused the problem. Now, I want you to weigh this out between everything was caused by COVID. Every death, brain cancer, car wrecks, lead poisoning by shooting, all caused by COVID. But I was wondering that same thing, Christine. But if you die from the vaccine, we're not entirely sure it's the vaccine. The Food and Drug Administration announced the new warning, flagging reports of this Guillain-Barré syndrome, an immune system disorder that causes muscle weakness and occasionally paralysis. Health officials describe the side effects as a small possible risk for those getting the shot. Is it a smaller risk than getting COVID? The action comes after the FDA and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reviewed reports of about 100 people developing the syndrome after receiving the one-dose vaccine. Almost all of them required hospitalization, and one person died. But wait a minute. What did it say? Reports of they developed the syndrome. Yeah. There you go. They're not telling you that. They're not sharing that information with you. If they do, they're holding it back. What are all the side effects of this shot? Did you say yes? Yes, you may be entitled to compensation. The BOCC declined to increase the communication services tax. Good. But Sharon, I think I had a stroke there. Sharon, here's my thought on that: is that thing was just a trial balloon for you, right? So you would come, oh, the tax, you want to raise that tax? They go, okay, just ignore that. We won't do that, and get you off. And they split that. That was at the very beginning, and the noise ordinance was at the end, right? It was to throw you off. If you get COVID, why get the vaccine? Right. If you got the COVID, you have the antibodies. A federal assessment board for vaccines will give you a $5 check. Yeah, the lawyers got the money for that. Yeah, I saw that. I did watch that. All right. Very good. Escambia County's coronavirus vaccine rate is lagging behind the state average. That's according to recently released data from the Department of Health. Statewide, 58% of Floridians have received at least one dose, which I think that's overinflated. In Escambia County, 117,425 people, or 42% of the population over age 12, have received at least one shot. There were just 833 people vaccinated in Escambia County last week. So why? Nobody wants it. The people that want it have got it. And if they don't want it, they're not getting it. Do you understand that? Marines who go maskless on military installations must be prepared to provide a proof of COVID-19 vaccination at any time. While those found to have lied about the vaccination status for whatever reason may face discipline. Service members and civilian employees who misrepresent their vaccination status may be subject to appropriate adverse administrative or punitive actions. If they are not fully vaccinated, they must wear their mask continuously on military installations unless they are alone, eating, drinking, when the mask is required to be lowered for identification, when it's necessary to accommodate disability, or while conducting physical training. Mask up, Marines. They must be prepared at any time to provide a vaccination card or health records to prove they are fully vaccinated and authorized to go without a mask. Military members who are fighting for your freedom. This is also interesting. About 100 vaccinated crew members aboard the Royal Navy's HMS Queen Elizabeth carrier have been diagnosed with COVID-19. They've been vaccinated. The BBC reported that there are more infections on warships of the carrier group, which consists of about 3,700 personnel. The flagship of the Royal Navy has entered the Indian Ocean and will eventually head to Japan. So there you go. They were vaccinated. 100 people aboard the HMS Queen Elizabeth have COVID after they were vaccinated. The government's come for, yes. That's a good question, Renee. 850-771-0049. COVID's scared of people. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Rusty always wondered this. You go into a restaurant. This doesn't happen anymore, but you go into a restaurant, you had to wear your mask in the restaurant and to your table. And once you sat at the table, it disappeared. Well, there you go. You didn't bring this one up. The clay pit ordinance removal. No, I know. There's just so much. You can't get to all of it. Sticker bushes are enough to keep children out of clay pits. Yeah. Well, I know they didn't call the deceased children. I know. But they don't care. That's what I'm saying is they don't care. What is the reason for taking them down? What is the reason for taking the they don't have one? I don't know. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. How'd you like to be this person? Check out my time. An Ohio hospital placed 2 employees on administrative leave this week after admitting the wrong patient received a kidney transplant earlier this month. The kidney given to the wrong patient is compatible with the recipient expected to recover. The hospital said the surgery for the intended recipient has been delayed because the kidney's been used up. Officials did not say if another kidney was available because it usually takes 5 to 10 years. I smell a lawsuit. What did they? They took out a perfectly good kidney and replaced it with another kidney. And the person who needed the kidney didn't get a kidney. The COVID jab is software. I tend to agree with that, Christina. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I tend to agree with that. Elizabeth says, I just watched a video that the swab they use for COVID is made in China and saturated with EO. What's EO? And dangerous as hell to breathe. They're sticking it in sinus cavity to brain. I will say this, Elizabeth. When I had my COVID test, something burnt. There was something on that swab that made my nasal cavity burn. And it wasn't alcohol. It was not alcohol. It was some kind of gel. The silliest is an airport 6 feet apart. It doesn't need to be done anyway, Katie. The masks are ridiculous. 850-771-0049. A tanker truck caught fire Monday on Interstate 75 in suburban Detroit. Do I have that one? I had it. Let me see if I got that. You got to see. This is wild stuff if I can find it real quick. Pardon. Bear with me. Here we go. This is a wild thing that happened. It happened in Oakland County in suburban Detroit. Firefighters were shooting water at the remains of a truck on I-75 northbound lanes in Troy. Here is that. Watch this. There's no sound. Truck goes over. Boom, boom. Look out. Holy smokes. That's crazy. Let's watch it again. That car, look at the car behind him. I don't know what he was doing, but the driver was taken to the hospital. He wasn't injured, but they took him to the hospital as a precaution. But wow, that's crazy. You never know. The craziness of highway driving. A Chicago rapper who goes by the name KTS Dre was killed by a barrage of bullets just moments after he was released from jail on Sunday. According to police, Sylvester was shot at least 64 times. 64 times. I had his picture. I don't know what I'm doing. The Chicago Tribune reported Sylvester had been on trial or fitted with an ankle monitor after he was released after a stint behind bars related to a weapons charge. He was walking with a 60-year-old woman and waiting a vehicle when multiple suspects suddenly emerged from 2 other vehicles and opened fire. That woman and another woman was injured in the gunfire. The 31-year-old rapper was pronounced dead at Mount Sinai Hospital around 9 p.m. The letters KTS in Sylvester's stage name stands for Kill to Survive. And you reap what you sow. You have goldfish? Don't dump them in streams because they're carp and they grow. Look at that. The city of Burnsville tweeted out some pretty shocking photos Friday morning of massive overgrown goldfish found in Keller Lake. Please don't release your pet goldfish into ponds and lakes. They grow bigger than you think and contribute to poor water quality by mucking up the bottom. Look at that. Here's another one. Toot. That's crazy. Yeah. Flush them down the toilet like normal people. They're goldfish. This happened in Nebraska. Get rid of that. This is a Burger King. And they had deteriorating work conditions and used the restaurant's sign to let customers know that they were unhappy. We all quit, the sign at the local Burger King in Lincoln said, sorry for the inconvenience. Now, the weird thing was the service didn't change. That's a slight. Rafael Flores, who had served as general manager since January, had put in her 2 weeks' notice, or Rachel, sorry. And 8 other employees also did so shortly before deciding to get the post a message on the sign. They've gone through many district managers since I've been GM, Flores said. No one's come to the store to help me out. They're so in and out. I guess there was no AC in the kitchen and people weren't showing up for work. And so not getting any help. So here's the problem with that. Now, I know that there's jobs aplenty at the moment. But it just doesn't look good. It's not a good look for a resume. What is a good look for a resume is we stuck it out. We did the best we could. I turned in my notice. I worked my time. I left. I did not abandon my post. That's not a good thing. Oh, this guy, instead of spending his wedding night with his bride, a Florida man spent the night in the Lee County Jail. On Saturday, deputies were called to Trinity Street East, where Jeffrey Johnson, 22, was being restrained by wedding guests. Deputies learned Johnson became aggressive with the guests while drinking with family and friends. He's got fewer of those now. Johnson kicked, battered, and spat on deputies while they tried to calm him down. That's according to the sheriff's office. And so his bride went on the honeymoon alone. And I'm sure that that wedding is going to be short-lived. That is methed up. It is. Wow. Hi, honey, I'm home. Yep. Bye. So you've known about the problem in Texas, about the voting bill, voter ID, and that kind of thing. Well, Texas Democrats bolted on Monday for Washington, D.C. They said they were ready to remain there for weeks in a second revolt against the GOP overhaul of election laws, forcing a dramatic new showdown over voting rights in America. Private planes carrying a large group of Democrats took off from an airport in Austin, skipping town just days before the Texas House of Representatives expected to give early approval to sweeping new voter registration or restrictions in local legislative session. That's hours after they took off. Republican Governor Greg Abbott told an Austin television station he'd keep calling special sessions throughout the year if necessary, and raised the possibility of Democrats facing arrest upon returning home. They're trying to stop the voter bills. Now, on this very thing, here is Biden bashing Democrats with tons of misinformation. No, I'm sorry. It's not misinformation. These are lies. These are downright lies. Check this out.
Republican-led state legislature wants to allow partisan poll watchers to intimidate voters and imperil and impartial poll workers. They want voters to dive further and be able to be in a position where they wonder who's watching them and intimidating them, to wait longer to vote, to drive a hell of a long way to get to vote. They want to make it so hard and inconvenient that they hope people don't vote at all. That's what this is about. This year alone, 17 states have
We want real people to vote. I don't want dead people to vote. I don't want people voting twice.
proposed but enacted 28 new laws to make it harder for Americans to vote. Not to mention, and catch this, nearly
No, to make it so it's right. We want to protect the integrity of the vote, and you do not, as you got into office on that very thing.
additional bills Republican members of the state legislatures are trying to pass. The 21st century Jim Crow assault is real. It's unrelenting. And we're going to challenge it vigorously.
It's real.
While vigorously. While
yeah, I don't know. They don't fact check him. They don't. Maybe occasionally, but you're not hearing it. It's not being widely reported. Lies. Absolutely, it's a lie. And you could tell as he's stroking out in the middle of a sentence that he doesn't believe it either. He's boring. Well, that's what they want because they're shipping them to red states. They're shipping all the illegals to red states because they want to overwhelm the system. And that's how they're going to flip Texas. That's how they're going to do it. Biden allied groups, including Democratic National Committees, are planning to engage fact checkers more aggressively and work with SMS carriers to dispel misinformation about vaccines that's sent over social media and text messages. They're going to monitor your text messages for misinformation. The DNC is planning to censor any, quote, misinformation about vaccines that you receive privately over a text message. Misinformation is anything the Biden administration doesn't want you to know, including how effective COVID vaccines actually are and what the potential side effects for them might be for taking them. They are going to censor your text messages. That's what they want to do. Top economists are warning Americans to brace for several years of high inflation at rates not seen in decades. Inflation, of course, is the reduction of purchasing power for every dollar in your pocket, and it's coming lightning quick. The Fed's preferred inflation gauge, the overall PCE index, which includes food, energy prices, rose 3.9% in May, nearly double the central bank's 2% target. Wall Street Journal recently spoke to several prominent economists who relayed a grim forecast about the near future of the American economy. In fact, they're predicting that inflation will rise to levels not seen since the early 1990s, and expectations have worsened since April. Respondents on average now expect a widely followed measure of inflation, which includes volatile food and energy components, to be up 3.2% in the fourth quarter of 2021 from a year before. They forecast the annual rise to recede to slightly less than 2.3% in 2022 and 2023. That would mean an average annual increase of 2.58% from 2011 through 2023, putting inflation levels last seen in 1993. Inflation is expected to surge longer and longer than the Fed previously thought. The Fed is now likely to raise rates in the first half of 2023, although some Fed precedents will be nipping at the bit to move sooner. They are destroying our economy. Fox's Peter Doocy asked Jen Psaki on Monday about federal government's position regarding vaccine mandates. Where's Jen Psaki? Oh, I didn't pull that up. I'm not going to pull it up. It's a long video. But Jen Psaki is asked by Peter Doocy. Fauci is calling for mandates. And Joe Biden says he would go with whatever Fauci says. So are you for mask mandates? Not mask mandates, vaccine mandates. Are you for vaccine mandates? And she goes, oh, I'm so glad you're back. And dismissed it. Dismissed the question. Fauci's calling for vaccine mandates. Biden said he would go with whatever Fauci recommended because Fauci's the scientist. Here's this. Building up resources as it aims to recapture the House of Representatives majority in the 2022 midterms, the House Republican re-election arm says that it's hauled in a record $20.1 million in fundraising last month. Good morning. You're on Sunrise Santa Rosa. This Sam? All right. I just want to make sure everybody can hear you. So say on the phone with us is Sam Mullins. And let me see if I can kind of make sure I got you on here. Okay, go ahead, Sam. I saw that. So tell us, go ahead. Right. So I got you. So, so those some folks can't hear Sam. Can you hear me? I know you can, Sam. But I'm trying to make sure that everybody can hear on the show. Look, Sam, no sound at all. How's that? Well, we're having some problems evidently. Hold on. We'll make sure everybody can hear us. I'm gonna see if Angie can hear me. My wife, she can kind of help me out here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Cannot hear Sam.
Okay. All right. So Sam, we're having a hard time. No, I don't think we can. So anyway, let me just kind of help pass this along. So Sam resigned from the zoning board commission. It's volunteer, right? Sam, correct? Yes, unpaid. And so Sam resigned because the zoning board voted unanimously on a item, and then the board, the county commissioners, unanimously rejected it. Now, several times over the last few months, what is the point of having a zoning board if you're not going to take their recommendations? If you're going to reject them unanimously, what is the point? It is just absolutely the most ridiculous thing in the world. And Sam, I understand, and I appreciate your willingness to serve, but I get your frustration for sure. Right. Yeah, it is a freedom issue, the sound ordinance, and he did speak up for that. And I saw you doing that, and I didn't get through all that this morning because it went very long. I was trying to clip through that very long video. So 1:15. Yeah. Yeah. It- you're exactly right. And they that's insanity. Wow. All right, brother. Thank you. Thank you. So they tabled at 1:15, they just cut it off. They let some speak longer, and when you oppose it, they cut you off at the 3 minutes. 1:15 for people who've been waiting there since 4:30 to speak on the Guardian program, to speak on the noise ordinance. They are. I'm sorry you couldn't hear Sam. Yeah, you can only hear one. I'm sorry, Christine. But here's the thing. It is tyranny. Sam says it's tyranny. It is tyranny. It is a problem when they cut you off and they do not allow you to speak. Why are they doing that? They drag it out. Look, there is no reason for a 9-hour meeting. None. No. Christy, 1:15 in the morning. Yes. That's a Milton Mayor tactic. They push the things you want to speak to and speak about that they know that you don't agree with them on. They push it to the very end of the meeting and then pack that meeting to make it long. So you get tired and go home. Not everybody can stick around. You got jobs, you got kids, you got family. Shame on them for making people wait to speak and then cutting them off. It is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. They ought to have a special meeting for that. Look, all the citizens, if they come to speak with her at the city council meeting or the county commission, they lost it. They should be able to speak and be heard. Yes. I got you, Leanne. And that's the point. That is the exact point, is they wanted you to get tired and go home. You could have made it, Angie, but could you have physically made it? I mean, you might have made it to the meeting, but could you have hung there with it? And then, but here's the other frustrating part. Then they table it and kick the can down the road. So you got to go through that again. You waited 9 hours and didn't get the satisfaction, and they'll table it and do it again at the end of another long meeting to jam it in your eye. Well, I guess. I mean, what else are you going to do? It is, they get paid to stay there. Yes. And you are just a citizen. You don't matter. You don't matter. They don't care about you. They talk about nonsense, dink stuff. And if they know that they got people showing up, I'm going to have people who got people upset about this. Let's get this thing taken care of first. No. Yes, Katie. This is abuse. This is abuse. Sherry, I think they know exactly who they work for, and they don't care. They don't care. You are a nuisance to them. They shove it to the end of the meeting on a meeting that they know is packed. They know it's going to go long. I thought 7.5 hours at that one everybody's going about Schebler was long. 9 hours, 1:15. They are criminal. They are criminal. And more people last night at that meeting than any other meeting. Good. Good. How many were there? And what needs to be done at this point? If they won't listen to you, they won't listen to you. They abuse you by doing meetings like this on purpose. They do it, and you can't tell me they don't. And there's nothing that they could say that would convince me that they don't do this on purpose. Shoving it to the end of the meeting, and they know that's packed. And then table it, and don't let people speak that are against it. You got elections that are far off. What do you do? What do you do? Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter. Join Recall Florida. Yes, join Recall Florida. But that's going to be a while out. But join it now. Go to Recall Florida on Facebook. Sign the petition. But that's going to take a while. They're probably in bed right now. Somebody needs to go ring their doorbell and rouse their lazy butts out of bed. Slackers. Yes. Yes. Somebody craft a letter to Governor DeSantis. Filibuster. Yeah, you told Peach in the meeting. What? Oh, they're filibustering us. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else that we can do. But they are criminal. They are criminal. And they have the county over a barrel. You are not important to them. And they showed you that last night. They showed you how much they disrespect you. Noise ordinance that you weren't allowed to speak on. They disrespected you last night because you don't matter to them. And that is the bottom line. You are a nuisance to what they want to do. Get angry. What are you going to do? They are enemies of the county. They're your enemies. And it is ridiculous. But Dan Schebler is gone. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, kids. We're out of here for this. What is today? Wednesday? It is Wednesday. We'll see you again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Like the video, share the video, and we'll see you then. Thank you so much. Stay strong.